right. This is Zug here. We're at Claremont, California at the SC3 meetup. Just quick introduce you to a few people. Mr. Stephen Hertz, how are you?
Good, good.
So, how are you involved with this beautiful occasion here?
I kind of came in contact with these guys about a couple of years ago. I just moved into this house and I started collecting the, I've been collecting the arcade games for quite some time, and I thought it would be a good idea to kind of throw like a party or a gathering or something for collectors to kind of get together and do stuff like that. And, then I came to find there was one already called SC3, and so then I started exchanging emails with Chris Breeden, and then we just kind of went back and forth and kind of got things set up like that. So
very cool. How long ago was that?
That was last
April.
Yeah, it was last April, and then we had our little meeting October, right? Yeah, it was October 7th. That was the first one of last year.
Very cool. And then how many have you had since that?
This is our third one.
Okay, so the one in May was the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So, how are you involved?
Oh, I was one of the original members of SC3, and the first meeting was held over at my house way back in about, 98? Is that about right? Yeah, about
December
1998.
98, I don't remember the day.
But pretty much I was a big console collector, and since I had pretty much everything at my house and a lot of space, then we were holding it at my place until it just simply got too big. And then we basically went inactive for a while because we couldn't find any venue large enough for our setup until Steve came along.
Well, that was very nice of him to donate his house, by the way. So, how about you?
I'm Jeff. I do a lot of moving, and it's politely called logistics. I do all the signs you see, moral support, kind of.
Sure.
And
warm hugs.
Yeah, kind of, and
Yeah.
we're just here to help each other play, and it gets the game collectors together. We just like having the group because Southern California is a pretty big group, or a pretty big area, and there needed to be a place. So we started doing this in '98, and there have been the waxes and wanes, and we're definitely happy with the way things are going right now.
Yeah, it's one of the things we talk about on the show a lot is sort of the dying of like arcade culture in general. And the only real arcades out there now are sort of, bar arcades, where you go and you pay your $5 to play Pac-Man, or you sort of have the big Japanese.
Not just one game.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the idea is more or less you're going and drinking and playing games where. The arcades that I remember growing up was more or less, you spent an entire afternoon for 25 cents. So, do you think your contributions here sort of do you see the community growing at all, or?
Yeah, our numbers went from the first meet was 40
people. The first one, yeah.
And then in May it was 70, and I don't know how many we're doing right now.
The second one was like 50 to 60, but now today's was like 60 to 70. So
very cool. I mean, are you hoping to get into something that could maybe turn into an actual arcade, or is it more you still want to stay in the hobbyist collectors kind of thing?
That's a question I don't know if we've got the answer to. We've always got internal ideas that we have been keeping within the group for right now, but nothing's decided. It's all just ideas right now. So, but I mean, if we grow, we'll find a way to get around it. If it stays like this, I don't see that being a bad thing, because I don't see Steve's house being able to hold 120 people. It just can't happen.
Yeah, I understand. So, Mr. Christopher, that's a very cool. What's the deal with that?
It's just a cart that Robert made for our very first meeting here at Steve's house.
Oh.
Yeah, my name's Christopher Breeden, and I've been with the group since meeting number 2, which is late '98.
I thought it was number 1.
I think
you were at the first.
I may have been. I can't remember. But basically, after Robert's place got a little too small, we moved over to. I had a loft in an office. We held it there for about 2 years, and then we moved back to Robert's house, and it was just crazy crowded.
Right.
Yeah, and basically like talking about just kind of the way things the way things were evolving in the collector community, and finding the space and the interest to put all this together, it's really a hell of a lot of work.
I can imagine.
To put this. This is a 3-day event for us hosts to set up and then to host and then to tear down. We found a system that works and it's attractive. People like it. And we can be nostalgic and trade and everything, but things are changing so much, and it's amazing. 10 years ago we started this, and there's guys out there now collecting. They're beyond Neo collectors. They're starting to collect Saturn. So it's just this whole new wave that's coming in. So we're trying to be open armed to that, and
that was
and
one of the
modern.
Things, that was one of the things really interesting. Is 10 years ago, if you maybe mentioned NES or Super Famicom at the time, we would have done very mean and nasty things to you. And now we've got an Xbox on projection over here. We have a Guitar Hero room. We've got Wii on the TV back here behind you. You've got to adapt and change to survive. No problem with that.
And there's homebrews and collecting going on.
So someone had mentioned that I missed who it was, but there are actually people still developing and making games for these older consoles and systems and computer games. How do you guys embrace that, or do you have them for display? Or
Chris,
right here.
I'm Chris Nyman, and one of the things I do is I'm into Intellivision. There's my Intellivision cart right there, and I currently produce new video games for Intellivision. And the group that I work with, we're the first group to actually make new games for Intellivision, and we've released 6 so far. We have 2 coming out probably by next summer. And there's still an interest in the old home consoles, and I just so happens that Intellivision is my forte, so to speak.
So how would someone find the games that you make and play them?
We have an online website, and so it's basically direct marketing, and a lot of our customers are repeat customers because they bought our first few games, and then we just keep emailing out notices to the same people over and over, and they tell their friends, and we attend some of the shows, and then like an event like tonight, I talked to a few people tonight about the games I do.
And SC3 is frequently previews of these games. We're the first ones to see some of these games.
Oh, very cool. What's the website, if you don't mind?
Intelligentvision.org, I think.
We'll figure it out and put it up with the video. And then last but not least, Mr. William.
Yes, my name is William Cassidy, and I moved out to Southern California in mid-2000 from back east. To take the directorship of ClassicGaming.com, which is a pretty big website in the whole field. And that's how I came in contact with these guys. They were actually looking for a hosting provider for the website. And so the SC3 website is still on Classic Gaming, classicgaming/SC3. And I don't work at Classic Gaming anymore, but I stayed on with the group to help write some website copy and like the email marketing, and I bring a lot of the consoles.
Well, very cool. Does anyone else want to mention anything before we wrap it up?
Come to the next meet.
Yeah, excellent. So what would be say the best way to get in touch with you guys if you want to email them or? Okay.
Actually, our MySpace webpage, it's just the whole myspace.com SC3 video games. I guess we can give you the URL.
Okay.
And all that. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of us.
Very cool. And I understand it's not necessarily regularly yet, but it will be semi-regularly, if anything, a couple times a year, I would imagine.
It's usually twice a year. So.
Okay, excellent. Well, very good. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you guys later.